home inspections is so personable when people want to hire you always. You're the name of the company, and the way you treat your company, nobody else would. Right.
You were like the example of how to market online.
Yeah.
Without trying to market. And maybe you were trying.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
He was just so good at it. I just remember your cars everywhere, the logos, the purple logo.
Yeah.
Company.
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's crushing the game.
Yeah, it's so funny. The realtor just not too long ago told me, he's like, you would pick up the phone every single time. Where's my Google review? You got to give me my Google review, right? But Google reviews help quite a bit. Yeah.
But that was when you first started in the business.
Yeah.
You were actually working in your business before, and actually you've transitioned where you're working on your business now.
Yeah.
So you've got multiple home inspectors.
Yeah.
Right? You had part-time assistant at one point.
Yeah.
You've had multiple vehicles, multiple equipment.
Yeah.
And now you're at the point where you can actually afford time to have a dog.
Yeah.
You're training.
Yeah.
So how did you transition from going from working in your business to working on your business?
It's all about sacrifice. You will be a little fearful in the sense of, I was for myself, I can only speak for myself, where, home inspections is so personable when, people want to hire you always. You're the name of the company, and the way you treat your company, nobody else would.
Yep.
But it's also believing in people who are working for you, right? And if their morals are right, the things they're looking for, they're working hard or not. I remember when I worked for another company, when I first started, my boss would tell me, okay, I have to ask you in order to see if you want to take on another inspection. And I'm like, and by the time I'd get back to him sometimes, and I used to be pretty fast, and he's like, they already hired somebody else. And I used to tell him, hey man, just give it to me. I'll do it. Like whatever it is, I'll make it happen.
Right.
Yeah, but again, to answer your question, I think it's you just gotta believe in yourself and people who are working for you. Taking that step back and start focusing on other things, right? Like again, I would have a realtor call me like, no, Sahil, we need you to do it, right? So. Sometimes a lot of the times you're able to, sometimes you won't be able to. So where, you'd have to put your foot down and making sure you're marketing enough for your business.
You built your brand accordingly. Anytime your vehicle shows up, it's wrapped up. The guys know exactly where to take their stickers and labels and hand them off.
Yeah.
And your guys, they're great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. Again, it's a high liability business too. But they go through a lot of training. Like my first guy I first hired, I gave him training for at least 4 months before I let him go do his own inspection.
And these were inspectors that already had experience that you wanted to set a standard for?
Not necessarily all of them. My first one, I trained him pretty good. He was just becoming an inspector. So one of the inspectors that's working for me, he's got a vast construction background, right? So he knows what he's doing. So he's a little bit more hands off for me. So which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
How did you hire him? Did he reach out to you? Did you put up an ad to try to hire someone?
It's so funny you asked me that. I ran into him at an inspection. The market was crazy. You see like different inspectors, during an inspection. So I ran into him. I knew him from another company before, so I told him, I'm like, if you're ever looking for a job, just get in touch with me, right? I feel like somebody's always watching over me. The other day I was just at Kit's just having my coffee. I was in my truck and it's all logoed up. He's like, what, I'm just doing my schooling, why don't I am thinking about working for a company, and he gave me his details. Once he's done, he's thinking about joining the company himself. Yeah. Then obviously he did his own homework too, right?
It's all timing.
Yeah.
You know what's cool, Sahil, with you? I feel like I have a different insight into your life because we're family friends. We're close.
Or brothers. We're cousins.
We're close.
Yeah.
So I've seen you grow over the years.
Yeah.
And even just now, you said something someone's watching over me.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's almost like this spiritual awakening process.
Yeah.
I know this is like uncharted territory. I don't know if you're prepared to answer questions about this, but I'm actually really interested in that. Because
you know what? Like my dad used to take me to the Gurdwara to the temple every Sunday, right? So that's ingrained into me. I believe in God. I do. I'm not sure what's going to happen when I, pass away. But again, I do think things are happening, but sometimes things are not meant for me and they're happening. I don't know who's watching over me, but I do get that feeling where somebody is. So, you know within you,
Sure.
I feel like when you're open to the experience, or you're open to the idea of something good to happen to you, something good is going to happen to you.
And the funniest thing is I feel like even before, and I think myself and a lot of people, they look for answers from other people elsewhere. But I think if you sit back and ask yourself those questions are, those answers are within you. You're able to answer those questions.
There's this peace and calamity that you have now that you didn't have a few years ago.
Oh, I didn't, for sure.
Right?
For sure, yeah.
It's this like cool, calm, collected, but like confident in like a non-social way.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little bit more erratic, so like I speak up, I yell, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you say a few words, but it's like you're getting your message.
The message deeper.
Yeah. You know what? I've known you as a kid. I've known you as being as pretty driven myself. Like a funny thing is, I was telling Karnveer, I'm like, I've known Rahul since he's a kid. Like, ever since I've known him, he's been driven. Like he's been doing something with his life. And funny enough, I think all my cousins are pretty driven, man. Like in our family, I feel like I think good majority of them, 90% of them are driven. So, which makes me super happy, man.
Like the funny thing,
very driven,
The funny thing is how I met both you guys is like he knocked on my door to sell me a security system, and you showed up to my place because I didn't have a ride.
I didn't know that.
And I didn't know that.
I met him before you introduced me.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you guys met during the wedding, my brother's wedding.
No, this was 7 years ago.
I actually had coffee with him. So I tried to sell him securities years back at his parents' house.
Yeah.
I realized he wasn't a customer, so we were like, let's connect.
Yeah.
Went and got coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And then he moved away. He just took off.
Yeah,
he took off to the States.
Yeah,
and then COVID hit, and nothing kind of made sense.
And then I came back. I'm starting to do the video stuff. We reconnect, and then we connect again at your brother's wedding.
Yeah.
And then the videos just started from there.
Yeah. The funny thing is the way him and I met it's the most funniest thing. So I had a mortgage broker tell about it, and she was telling me about a realtor, and I picked up my phone, and I called him. I'm like, let's just meet for coffee. The first day we couldn't meet. The second time I called him, he's like, something happened. He's like, just come to my house. And the funny thing is, I didn't even talk to him. I ended up talking to his dad the entire time. And then I looked at him at the end. I'm like, it was nice meeting you, man. And then after that, we just became friends. Like, it's almost like, how I was saying earlier, like somebody's watching, like, it's some sort of energy brought us together.
Yeah.
Yeah.